This is from Eli in Georgia. I think sometimes people picture life-changing moments as big dramatic events, like speeches or trophies. But mine wasn't like that. For me, it happened on a regular Friday night, standing behind the counter at Burger King, wearing my graduation gown over a work apron. That afternoon, I crossed the stage, shook hands, smiled for pictures, and tried not to trip in front of everyone. My mom was crying and cheering at the same time. She hugged me so tight, and while everyone else was heading to parties, I was checking my work schedule. I've been working since I was 16. It's just me and Mom at home, and she's always worked 2 jobs as a home health aide. I help out where I can. So when I saw my name on the schedule for graduation night, I didn't even think to cancel. When I showed up, the place was packed. 2 coworkers called out, the drive-through line was already wrapped around the building, and my manager looked like she might cry. She said, "You don't have to stay, Eli. It's your graduation." I told her, "It's okay. I'm already here." I hadn't changed yet, still had my purple graduation gown on from earlier. I tied my apron right over it. Everyone laughed, thinking I was kidding, but I wasn't. We were short-staffed, people were hungry, and honestly, I didn't want to see my manager struggle alone. Once we got going, it was non-stop. Fries dropping, drinks spilling, customers waiting, ice cream machine down again, the usual chaos. I just focused on helping whoever was next. I didn't feel tired or annoyed. It actually felt good, like I was doing something that mattered. Then I noticed some customers pointing their phones toward me. I figured they were just messing around. I smiled, waved, and kept working. I didn't think anything of it. I just thought, man, if this goes online, my friends are never gonna let me live it down. A little before closing, we finally caught a break. My manager brought me a milkshake and said, "You're unbelievable, Eli." I laughed and told her it was no big deal, but she shook her head and said quietly, "Most people wouldn't have shown up tonight. I hope you know that." When my mom picked me up, she started laughing as soon as she saw the grease stains on my gown. She said, "You really worked in that thing?" I said, "Yeah, might make a new fashion trend." She rolled her eyes but smiled the whole drive home. The next morning, my phone wouldn't stop buzzing. I thought something broke. Then I saw the video, me handing out food, wearing my gown, smiling like it was the best night ever. It already had thousands of views. I didn't know whether to laugh or panic. I opened my messages and couldn't believe it. Thousands of people were sharing the clip. The caption said, "This kid worked right after graduating." I read the comments, and people were calling me hardworking, inspiring, humble. I didn't know what to say. I'd just been doing my job. By noon, local news stations started messaging me. One asked for an interview. I laughed, because honestly, what was I gonna say? Yeah, I made fries. I wasn't saving lives. I just didn't want to leave my team hanging. That was the only thing on my mind, that night. Mom came home from work with her phone in her hand, smiling so big. She said, "Eli, you're famous now." I told her to calm down, but she was proud. She kept saying, "See what happens when you do the right thing, the world notices eventually." I just nodded, embarrassed. The next few days were wild. Reporters came to the store, customers stopped by just to say hi, and people online started raising money to help me go to trade school. I didn't even know who started it. Every time I checked, the number kept going up. It didn't feel real. I remember sitting on the couch, watching Mom scroll through the comments. Some were calling me a hero. Others said they wanted to donate. She turned to me and said, "Eli, maybe this is God showing you that hard work comes back around." I didn't argue. She always says things like that. It was strange, though all the attention made me uncomfortable. People were treating me like I did something unbelievable. But I kept thinking about everyone else who works hard every day and doesn't get noticed. I told Mom, "I'm not special. I just did what anyone should do." She looked at me and said, "That's exactly why it matters." That stuck with me. Sometimes people see kindness and remember what it looks like. I didn't realize that just showing up that night could remind people that good things still exist, even if they start small. Did you know? Studies show that when people witness an act of kindness, even online, their own mood improves, and they're more likely to help others within 24 hours. That means every good deed has a ripple effect, even if we'll never see where it goes. The fundraiser reached an amount that made Mom cry, enough to pay for trade school and still cover some bills. She told me to thank everyone online, but I didn't know how. How do you thank thousands of strangers? I just kept reading their messages, smiling quietly to myself. A few days later, my manager called a little meeting at work. She said, "You reminded us all why this place matters." Then she handed me a Burger King scholarship certificate. Everyone clapped, and I just stood there holding it, not sure what to say. I'd never felt that kind of support before. After all the attention faded, life went back to normal. I still worked a few shifts a week, still clocked in, cleaned tables, took orders. But something in me changed. I started seeing every small act, every thank you or good job, like it actually meant something. People still recognize me sometimes. A few customers say, "Hey, you're that graduation guy, right?" I just laugh and tell them, "Yeah, that was me." They ask if I ever quit. I say, "Nope, I'm still here." Most smile. Some take a selfie, and then life keeps going. I use the donations and the scholarship to start trade school. I've always loved fixing cars. Something about turning broken things into something that works again feels right. I want to open my own garage one day, maybe hire other kids like me who just need a chance. Mom keeps the news article framed in the living room. Every time someone visits, she points at it and says, "That's my son." I act like it's embarrassing, but truth is, I don't mind. It reminds me that one small choice can make a big difference, even when you're tired. Sometimes I think about that night. The smell of fries, the noise, the tired laughter from the crew. None of it felt special at the time. But looking back, that night taught me something. You never know who's watching when you do the right thing, and that's kind of beautiful. People call it luck, but I don't think it was. I think it was timing, a good moment that showed up because I was willing to show up. If I'd stayed home, none of this would have happened. I'm glad I didn't overthink it that night. Now, whenever I feel burnt out, I remind myself of that video. The comments, the smiles, the kindness. It helps me remember that doing small things with heart can travel farther than you'll ever realize. That's what I learned. That's what I keep trying to live by. If my story made you smile, share it. You never know who might need a reminder that good things still happen. And if you like stories about real people just trying their best, consider subscribing. It helps more than you think, and maybe it spreads a little more kindness too.